Good afternoon and greetings from Jerusalem. Jane from Zion, from Jerusalem. It's pouring rain. We are now wearing long sleeves. I even put on a vest outside. So I want to give you an update what happened since the last update yesterday. We had the third group of hostages being released yesterday, and after the second group was delayed by more than 7 hours in the cruel and cynical psychological warfare game of Hamas, they knew that they better get their act together, and yesterday everything went according to plan. 13 hostages was released yesterday. 3 Thai workers were released, and then also a young man, 25-year-old. He was a dual Israeli-Russian citizen, and that was actually from pressure from the Russian president that he was released. I will get back to him a little bit later. Yesterday, the hostages, some of them was handed over from Hamas to the Red Cross, or they were all handed over to the Red Cross in the midst of Gaza City, in the midst of a big square. Again, Hamas doing a huge propaganda video out of it. So sick and twisted. You know, after they have kidnapped these young people, their mothers, their grandmothers, into the Gaza Strip, after they raped and murdered their neighbors, they took their family hostage, they murdered some of their family members. When they were being released in their propaganda video, they are being told, smile and wave goodbye. When there are parts of the video that Hamas don't want the world to hear what was being said, the sound is off, and then you can hear the sound again when Hamas is standing waving bye-bye, and they are told to wave. Absolutely disgusting. The group of hostages being released yesterday, there were 9 children, 9 precious children. Here are, I hope you can see it, this is six of the children out of 9, and 6 of these children, either one or both of their parents were murdered on that horrendous day, October 7. 6 out of 9 children yesterday, either one or both of their parents were murdered yesterday. You can't even fathom the horror. Here is one family that was released yesterday, mother and 3 of her children. Her husband and another daughter was murdered in the bomb shelter in the safe room. So Hamas broke into their house and they kidnapped mom and 3 children into the Gaza Strip for 50 days, and they murdered the father and another daughter. It is unbelievable. It is so cruel. This is the young man. I hope you can see him. The light is a little, but this is the young man from Russia who was released yesterday as a gesture to the president, Vladimir Putin. He was at the music festival actually, and he was at the music festival and he was kidnapped. He was held in a house inside the Gaza Strip, and that house came down in some of the bombardments from the Israeli military, and he actually managed to escape, but of course he doesn't know where he is. So for 4 days, this is according to his aunt, who gave an interview to Israeli media this morning. So according to his aunt, her nephew, this young man, for 4 days, he was actually free, where he was trying to find his way back to the fence going into Israel. But again, he was on his own. He didn't know the direction. And then some of the civilians inside the Gaza Strip, they caught him. And they handed him over to the brutal terror regime of Hamas. And he was taken captive. This is Alma, this pretty precious old grandmother. She was so sick that the minute she was being released, she was taken to a hospital. And what we have heard now is that the doctors are fighting for her life. She didn't have her medicine, and she got very, very sick. And right now, the doctors are fighting for her life. This precious, dear old grandma, her name is Alma. Please, please keep her in your prayers. Of course, all of these people were snatched out of their houses, kept dragged into the Gaza Strip. So for nearly 2 months, they have been off their medicine. A lot of people are on daily medicine. You are probably on some sort of daily medicine that these people didn't get. So this precious old lady got really sick, and they're fighting for her life right now in the hospital. I reported on all my social media about another family where Hamas broke into the house, and in front of the children they murdered mom and dad. The youngest of the girl, Abigail, managed to get out of the house and ran into the neighbors. In that house, Hamas also came, and they kidnapped that family and little Abigail, and they were taken into the Gaza Strip. The two older sisters, sister and brother of Abigail, they managed to hide inside a closet in the house, and they were there while their mom was lying dead outside, and the terrorists didn't find them. And they were in that cupboard for, I think it was more than 9 hours before the Israeli military came in and found them. This is young Abigail, and a photo of her mother who was brutally murdered on that day. So now Abigail was amongst the people being released yesterday, but she's coming home. And where's mom and dad? They were brutally murdered. It's just unbelievable. I want to play a very short video clip for you. Here is a family. Mom and daughter was kidnapped into the Gaza Strip, and here they are in the hospital meeting father and brother. And this young girl is sobbing. She is sobbing as she is hugging her father and her brother. She was held captive inside the Gaza Strip with her mother. It's just, you can't imagine. And like many of them, most of them were totally malnourished. They didn't get the right food. They didn't get enough food. For the last couple of weeks, there were barely any rice. Some of them were sleeping on these plastic benches. There were no mattresses. They were down in the tunnels. They didn't know when it was day or night. They lost all concept of time, of day and night, being down in these dark tunnels. So it's very, very emotional. That's actually why I'm not making videos at night when I watch they're being released, because we just cry. We just cry when we are watching all of this. It is simply unbelievable. So yeah, today is the last day of the official humanitarian pause. They made an agreement for 4 days. Israel should have 50 precious innocent civilians being released, and Israel should release 150 security prisoners. Most of them are terrorists, and that's coming to an end tonight at midnight. So we are expecting the last group of hostages being released at 4 p.m. Israel was given the list of the names, and Israel has given the list of the names of the Palestinian terrorists, security prisoners who's going to be released. But the latest reports we heard was that neither Israel or the despicable Hamas terrorist group are satisfied with the name on that list. So there's a snag. That's what we are hearing right now from the Israeli government about the names on that list. You have to remember something. Israel knows now who is in the Gaza Strip. They have the name of all of these hostages, including a young mother who was kidnapped, dragged into the Gaza Strip with her baby, only 9 months old, and a 2-year-old. We all saw the videos of those precious boys with the red hair being dragged into Gaza and being paraded on the backside seats, the truck in the Gaza Strip. They are still not released. So the youngest babies from inside the Gaza Strip, they are still not being released. So please pray when you see this video that everything will go according to plan. So that's at 4 p.m. The last 11 Israeli hostages are going to be released. And then Hamas has expressed willingness, or that they have actually said, we would like to extend this truce. And of course, that's because they are reorganizing, they are regrouping, they are moving terrorists around, they are moving weapons around. They need this pause more than anyone to regroup inside the Gaza Strip. Of course, Israel on the other side, they want their precious people home. They want the grandmothers home. They want the babies home. There are still 200 hostages inside the Gaza Strip, down in the tunnels, malnourished, in the tunnels, don't know day or night. We don't know if they're torturing the men, the soldiers. They still have soldiers, young soldiers in the tunnels. So of course Israel is interested. So Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu actually surprised everybody, and he went into Gaza yesterday. So the Prime Minister of Israel went into Gaza as a show of support for the soldiers. I thought it was a really, really powerful move of him. He released a video from in there. He's standing around with all the soldiers. So that was really powerful. So again, he spoke last night to Joe Biden, and Netanyahu is saying Israel is willing to extend this truce, but the demand is that Israel gets at least 10 hostages released every day. Of course, Hamas broke the agreement. They had said that we are not gonna separate children and their moms. They did. Yesterday, a young girl was released without her mom. Hamas's excuse was, we couldn't find her. But the young girl, who was 13 years old, went out and said, I was held with my mom the whole time. Only 2 days before we were going to be released did they separate us. So of course Hamas broke the rule, but they are a disgusting, evil, demonic terror organization. So of course you cannot trust them. So yesterday it was so moving to see when the Israelis, the hostages had been released into the hands of the Red Cross, and then they handed it over to the military. And then when they were in Israel and they were driving down the streets, and everybody was out in the street with signs and banners and Israeli flag just welcoming them home. It was really, really moving. We cannot stop crying. You cannot fathom what these people have been through. Some of these people now that has been released over these 3 days, they don't have a home. They don't have a home to come home to. It was burned down by Hamas. So it's the stories just continue. I want to see if I have a photo. I probably don't have a photo of her. I wish I had. But her name was Karen, and she was held captive by together with her mom, herself, and her son, taking into the Gaza Strip. And I posted a photo on my social media with the before and after. You could see her healthy face and how much weight she has lost and how she looked after nearly 2 months in captivity. And it was caught on camera when she was released and they come into the hospitals. She's hugging someone, probably a family member, and she's asking, is my father there? Is my father there? Asking, was my father murdered? Or is he inside the Gaza Strip as a hostage? And they confirmed, yes, your father is in the Gaza Strip. There's a little bit of a funny light. My TV is on, so that's why the light is changing a little bit. So yeah, these hostages, they're being released, but they are being released out getting the knowledge of, one of them, an elderly lady, came out just to find out her husband was murdered. And another one, your son is in captivity in the Gaza Strip. So all of this is bittersweet with them. We are so happy they are coming out. But to the knowledge, your house was burned down, your husband was murdered, your father is still in captivity, your brother was murdered, your brother is still in captivity, and still 200 hostages. So please pray for them as we are holding our breath now, waiting for the last bit of exchange that's going to happen, while at the same time we see the other side out in the streets hundreds of green Hamas flags in Judea and Samaria, and thanking Hamas, glorifying Hamas for the massacre on the Jewish people, releasing these terrorists who tried to murder Israelis. That's what's being released right now. It's just horrendous. So please share out this video for the truth to get out. Bye.